Good morning, welcome back. In the previous video, I discussed how to balance a redox reaction by oxidation number as well as ion electron method. Hope all of you have seen that video and you have solved, you tried to solve different redox reaction to balance also. Okay, now CO, I may be given an acid like HCl. I may have to calculate the equal mass of that acid. Or I may be given a sodium hydroxide which is a base. I may have to calculate the equal mass of the sodium hydroxide. Or I may be given an atom like calcium. What is its equal mass? So for that, we know the formula to calculate it. Equal mass of an atom is equal to atomic mass by valency. I already discussed in the class, regular class only. Equal mass of an acid is equal to molar mass by basicity. Equal mass of a base is equal to molar mass by acidity. Anyone is having the doubt? Refer your notes, previous notes, which is that in the first chapter. Okay, so atomic mass by valency, molar mass by basicity, molar mass by acidity. This is for atom, this is for an acid, this is for its base. Now see you. Sometimes we have to calculate the equal mass for potassium permanganate, potassium dichromate, which is not an acid, which is not a base, which is not an atom also. How to calculate? There, see you. Equal mass of a solid is equal to molar mass by change in oxidation state. Now see, you may be asked to calculate the equal mass of KMnO4. See, when the KMnO4 is treated with the sulfuric acid, I am going to get K2SO4, MnSO4, water, and nascent oxygen. And as this is giving a nascent oxygen in the acid medium, it's a good oxidizing agent also. Because anything which supply the oxygen is a good oxidizing agent, which can take the oxygen will be the better reducing agent also. And if the balancing is done, it is 2MnO4. Now see here, 2 sulfate, 1 more sulfate, 3 sulfate is there, so I will write with the 3. Now, potassium is balanced, Mn is balanced, sulfate as a whole is balanced. This hydrogen, this oxygen, this hydrogen is not balanced. This oxygen, this hydrogen is not balanced. So what I do is 3H2O. The hydrogen also balanced, only the oxygen yet to be balanced. So you see, no need to see this oxygen, no need to see this oxygen, because it is already balanced in the form of sulfate ion. Now 3 plus 1 4. Where is here? 4 into 2 8. 8 oxygen in the reactant side, only 4 is there, so make it 8 by adding 5 O. Don't write 4. Thinking that 3 plus 1 4 is there, 4 plus 4 8. Add 4 more, already 1 is there, this is becomes the 5. And see here, potassium permanganate, Mn. It is in the +7 state. If you don't know, calculate it. How to calculate? Write x for this 1, for this minus 2. So 1 plus x plus minus 2 into 4 equal to 0, or x equal to 7 I get. So it is in the +7 state. See here, Mn SO4 is here. 7 state is minus 2, therefore Mn should be plus 2 only. Easy to calculation. Because you may not be knowing what is the oxidation state of the sulfur. So it is easy because you see Mn 2 plus SO4 2 minus cancellation, then only use MnSO4. Yes, sir. So this Mn is in the +2 stage. Equivalent mass of KMnO4 is equal to molar mass of KMnO4 divided by change in oxidation state. And remember here, potassium permanganate molar mass. Potassium is 39, Mn is 55, 16 into 4 for oxygen. This is the molar mass of KMnO4, which happens to be 158. So molar mass is 158 divided by, just here, oxidation state changing 72. How many units? 5 units. So divide by 5, which is equal to 31.6. This also calculate the equivalent mass of potassium permanganate. Equivalent mass of potassium dichromate K2Cr2O7 is equal to. First I have to see what is the change in oxidation state. Potassium dichromate K2Cr2O7 plus H2SO4 gives K2SO4 plus Cr2SO4 thrice plus water molecule plus nascent oxygen. See mass. So how I come to know that this product will be there? See, potassium permanganate is a good oxidizing agent in the acid medium. Oxidizing agent means they should give the nascent oxygen, one of the condition, but it's not the lone condition also. So by this, then again, potassium is there, sulfate is there, so potassium sulfate. Chromium is there, sulfate is there, chromium sulfate. Hydrogen and oxygen are there, water molecules. These are the brackets. Okay, now see here. Potassium is balanced, chromium is balanced, but sulfate 3 plus 1 4, so I write here 4H+4 means hydrogen now should be here 4 water molecule. Only thing is that this oxygen is not balanced. 7 oxygen in the reactant, only 5 are there, so make it 3O. 4 plus 3 is 7. And if you calculate the oxidation state of the chromium, you are going to get +6 also. How? 1 into 2 plus 2x plus minus 2 into 7 equal to 0. 2x is equal to 12. X equal to 6 you are going to get for this. This 2x is for 2 chromium. And here again Cr2SO4 3 times. See, this 3 goes here, 2 goes here, and gives Cr3 plus SO4 2 minus. Means the chromium here is in the plus 3 stage. So, what the change? 6 to 3. Change in oxidation state is 6 to 3, which is equal to 3 units. But remember, this 3 unit change is for one chromium, but there are 2 chromium involved. Means if the one chromium is giving 3 unit change, definitely 2 chromium will give 6 unit change. Means this should be multiplied by 2. That is 6 is the change in oxidation state. So, here in the denominator it is, what is the equal mass of potassium dichromate? To calculate I should know molar mass also. Potassium is 39 into 2 plus chromium is 52 into 2 plus oxygen is 16 into 7. And if you add together, I get 294. So 294 by 6. 6 4s are 24. 6 4s are 24. 6 9s are 54. And remember, these equal masses may change if it is done in the basic medium, because in the basic medium they may give different product also. When they give the different product, change in oxidation state may be different also. Now, equal mass of ferrous ammonium sulfate, FAS, or also known as Mohs salt. Formula is FeSO4 NH4 twice SO4 dot 6H2O. Molar mass is equal to 56 for iron, sulfur 32, oxygen is 16 into 4 plus ammonia in this ammonium, nitrogen is 14, hydrogen is 1 into 4, there are 2 times here, plus 32 for the sulfur, 16 into 4 for the oxygen, plus 6 into 18 for water. And if you add together, you are going to get 392. During the reaction, ferrous sulfate will be converted to ferric sulfate. So, ferrous is in the plus 2 state, ferric is in the plus 3 state. So, change in oxidation state is 1 only. So, here equal mass of the ferrous sulfate is equal to formula same only 392 by 1, which is equal to 392 only. This is how to calculate the equal mass. What are the applications of redox reactions? Plenty of applications are there. See, a vessel should be electroplated. Then we are doing the electroplating, means we are taking certain metal to that another metal will be coated through redox reactions only. The galvanic cell, where we get the electricity, where we get the EMF, again it works under redox reactions only. Oh, electrolysis process, preparation of alkanes by Kolb's electrolysis, preparation of sodium hydroxide by Nelson cell, Castner kernel cell, preparation of chlorine by Nelson cell, These are all done through electrolysis process, and the electrolysis process is based on Redox reactions only. Next, say here the whatever rusting of iron, which is the corrosion of the metal, by knowing the redox reaction, I can avoid the corrosion of the metal also. What you see how the rusting of iron takes place? See, metal iron first undergoes oxidation to give Fe2 plus ion with the 2 electron. Then it may go into the Fe3 plus also, ferric state also. Then this will take the water molecule converted into ferric hydroxide, which will be the equilibrium with Fe2O3 dot H2O, which is the rust also. So oxidation of the metal takes place there. Now what you do is, to prevent this oxidation, this is the metal iron rod you see. So if it is exposed to the environment, definitely they will be converted into Fe2O3 XH2O, which is rust. Now what you do is, you give a coating of zinc to this. Coating of a zinc to this. What happened there? Until zinc is present, iron will not get any oxidation, because zinc is more electropositive than the iron. So when the zinc and the Fe is there, zinc undergoes oxidation to give zinc to plus 2 electron. And until the zinc is there, Fe will not go into the Fe2 plus 2 electron state. Since they are not converting to this state, this conversion also not there. Since this conversion is not there, there is no conversion into ferric hydroxide. Rust will not be formed. But thing is here, to save this Fe, the zinc is lost in the due course of time. Therefore, we call it as sacrificial protection. To safeguard the iron, zinc is lost due course of time because of their oxidation. And remember, the whatever zinc coating, we call them as galvanization also. So, question can be given like this. Galvanization, the metal used is, it is the zinc coating. And if the tin is used, Sn is used, we call it as tinning. Tinning of the metal. Means give the tin coating, not again THIN, tin coating, tin thick. I don't say that. Tinning is the Sn should be coated over that. And again, that also sacrificial protection only. So how that becomes a redox reaction? See, zinc is undergoing the oxidation, but the Fe will be in the reduction process only. See, another will be the protection of these metals only from the rusting etc. by cathodic protection. See, this is a underground water pipe you see, made up of iron. So definitely this underground water pipes will be there in the soil only, where the moisture will be there. Definitely the water pipe get corroded. To prevent this, what I can do is, here and there small pieces of more electropositive metal like the magnesium should be attached. This is magnesium. See, until the magnesium is present, as the magnesium is more electropositive, they undergo oxidation to give Mg2 plus 2 electron. Until the magnesium is present, Fe will be there with the Fe2 plus 2 electron to giving Fe stage. Means Fe will not be there in the position to give Fe2 plus 2 electron. This stage will not be there. This is not a possibility. So until the magnesium is present, iron is safe from rusting. So to safeguard the iron, magnesium is lost in the due course of time. Again, it is the sacrificial protection only. And why we call it as the cathodic protection? See, when the magnesium and the iron are connected, magnesium becomes the anode because it is more electropositive. More electropositive always undergoes oxidation. They readily give the electrons. So until the magnesium is there, magnesium is the anode and iron becomes cathode. So I am converting the iron into a cathode by connecting it with the more electropositive magnesium, etc. That's why we call it as cathodic protection. By this also we can prevent the rusting of iron, which is under redox reaction only. Take up some homework based on balancing the redox reaction by oxidation number method as well as ion electron method. This homework also solve and send to me through WhatsApp. And when you do that solving, you have to do it in the both oxidation number method as well as ion electron method. These are the examples which you have to solve as homework. See, H2S plus Fe3 plus giving Fe2 plus sulfur in the acid medium you have to balance ion electron method as well as oxidation number method. Tin plus NO3 minus giving SNO4 2 minus NO2 and water. Again acid medium. Remember, acid 1 NO3 minus, it should be HNO3. Therefore, it is acid medium only. Zinc plus HNO3, already said nitric acid. So I did not mention here whether it's acid medium or the basic medium. It's the acid medium only. MnO4 minus H2S giving sulfur plus Mn2 plus water, which is acid medium again they mentioned. Now you see P4 plus OH minus. As the OH minus is there, it should be the basic medium giving phosphine and H3PO2.